What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm in the backyard today, so bringing some fresh air. I'm getting over a cold, so I have my OJ in hand. But let's get to the nitty gritty. No fluff. I got a comment asking about, they wanted me to go more in depth about pay rate for respiratory therapy, like that. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And welcome back, you guys. Boy is crying. Dad's problem today. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty. I got a comment about pay rate. They wanted me to be transparent about it, no fluff. So here it goes. A little backstory, by the way. I wanted to touch up on history as being a respiratory therapist. If you're now just watching this video, go back to my other videos. It gives you a little backstory about my journey so far with respiratory therapy, school, my first job, and stuff like that. So if you it's a lot of details, so just go back to those videos and catch up on that. But today we're going to be talking about pay rate. I recently was in rehab and I loved it, but unfortunately our company laid us off because they lost the contract with the building. There was a lot of stuff going on, but this company had just started up. So, little backstory. So, I am now about 11 months. Baby, we're about to be 1 next month. It's crazy. But so after I left my other job, I was working at the hospital. I was working in trauma ICU, and it was I wouldn't say it was challenging, but you're on your toes 24/7 at the hospital, ICU, trauma. You have constant traumas coming in. So it's definitely a different environment from rehab. So it was always on your toes. I was always exhausted. I was always tired. So when it came time, I gave myself about a year. I told myself I'm gonna get my experience at the hospital for a year and then move on. So I did that. Then I ended up getting pregnant with my firstborn, and I was already planning to have my firstborn. This is something that we were praying for and stuff like that. And so I ended up getting pregnant, and then I knew that after maternity leave, there was a possibility that I wasn't going to come back, and I was going to make it every effort to not come back because it was a different headspace already, and a lot changes after you guys have a child, guys. Once you have your firstborn, your whole mindset changes, and I honestly think it's for the better, but everybody goes through an identity shift. Being a mom is just a whole different ballgame. So my mindset shifted of I no longer want to put my mind through traumatic experiences and other people's, worst moment in their lives, right? Obviously, you want to be there for people and you want to care for other people, but your main priority is now being more present as a mom and caring for your own family. That makes sense, right? Healthcare is a place, healthcare, you're serving other people, you're being there for other people's worst moments, right? So your mindset changes to no, I want to be there for other people and I want to help other people, but I also want to be present in my family's life and I want to be there for them, right? So it's become a little bit, I don't want to say selfish in a way, but you're always going to want to help people. And it's easier for some people to go back to that environment. But in my case, I want to take a break from it, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not done with that world yet of being at the hospital, but I think right now I want to take a humongous break and be there for my child. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to be at his basketball games. I want to be able to. I'm already putting him in basketball in my head. Just kidding. No, whatever he wants to do. I just want to be there for his first moments and all his milestones. And so I made it a priority during maternity leave to work towards those goals. And my main dream and goal was to be the work from home mom and making money online. And that's what I'm doing. I was very grateful enough to find a work from home job that even pays the same as my first RT job ever and be able to make money on TikTok shop. So it's been a huge blessing, and I want to get more into diving deeper into affiliate marketing and stuff, other investments and just stuff like that, because I want to be, like I said, I really want to be present as a mom, and I think that's everybody's main goal, to be present after you have a kid, right? For some people, like I said, it's easier for them to go back to the hospital, get back to doing their regular life. but that's just like us. And they're able to put them in daycare and stuff like that. But I'm hugely against daycare for many reasons. I myself was a daycare kid and I went through a lot being in daycare. My babysitter wasn't the greatest, and there was a lot of abuse towards kids, and I experienced abuse with my babysitter. So, for many reasons, I just choose not to put him in daycare, and it is what it is. Like, so yeah, that being said, that's a little backstory. But so at the hospital, so as a starting graduate as an RT, I graduated back in 2023. No, 2020, either 23 or 24, guys. I don't know. Remember, I'm trying to think. It's been so long that I just forgot the dates already. But so then I graduated. I think we ended up moving, and that's where I got my first RT job. After I graduated, I moved right away. I think you guys, there's a video on that. I moved right after graduation, and I took, after I passed my test, and then that's where I got my first RT job, which was horrific. I made a video on it. It was my first experience, and as a graduating RT, my pay was $24 an hour, 3 days a week shifts, and I was working overnight. So it was freaking horrible. Working overnight, I think we did get differential, so it would make it $24. I think they only paid $1 extra for nights. It was shitty. And it's a very known hospital, so I was very surprised about that. But I guess since I was a new grad, that's what they start you off, 24. And I was there for almost a year. I think I left 3 months short of a year. And it was a regular hospital. They didn't have trauma, ICU, none of that. It was your basic. But I had such a horrible time. If you guys go back to the video, because of a bully, and it was just horrible. You're not supposed to know it all once you get out of school. Do not let these people intimidate you, but you're not supposed to know it all. When you're used to practicing on vents and stuff like that, obviously practice as much as you can at the hospital, but during clinicals, half of the time they don't let you touch vents. So when you get to the hospital, it's very tough, and different vents, different stuff like that. So first horrible experience, shitty pay, whatever. We ended up moving again to our city that we're in now, because this is where we ultimately wanted to be and raise our family and stuff like that. So here I ended up going to also another shitty hospital, but I love this hospital. That's the crazy part. It's a shitty hospital. It has a bad rep. It has a bad rep. It starts with an H, but I had a blast in there because my management was amazing. My coworkers were amazing. Everybody had their backs in there. There was no BS in there. So I had a great time in there. I learned so much, guys. When I tell you I learned so much, I was there for almost 2 years before I ended up going on maternity leave. They had just given us a raise before I left. So I started at 27, but by the time I left, literally that same month they gave us a raise. I didn't get to experience it because I left for maternity leave, but I ended up at 28 there. But like I said, it didn't count because I left. So I know they're at 28 now, I believe. 28. And that's with I said I had 1 year of experience at that interview. So they really needed people, and they were willing to work with your expectations. If you guys have at least a year of experience, ask for that pay. If you have a year of experience, you're golden. Just put your expectations on your salary. A lot of these places are starting at 29, 30 now. So ask for that. Do not start with anything less than that. Especially for the amount of work that you do in ICU and all that stuff, especially if you're one of those RTs at those scenarios, definitely ask for more. So do not let them lowball you. But obviously, as a graduating RT, you can't really ask for much because that's what they're going to start you off. They're going to use the excuse that you don't know anything. So you're a grad, you don't have experience. We're going to start you off at this, and you're going to have to suck it up for a year and then leave. Deuces. After the year, deuces. Or raise my salary, pretty much. So that's that. So there, I'm telling you guys, I learned so much there. Then we would do ABGs every single day because there was a trauma coming in every single day, and we saw so many accidents, which is so sad. But the top accidents, I would say, are like, there was a lot of motorcycle accidents. There was a lot of gunshot wounds to the face, which a lot of those patients ended up on trachs and stuff like that. And we did have a lot of cardiac arrest, but that's for the older patients. But For younger patients, it was a lot of motorcycle was a top thing, and very gruesome, it was horrible. Big trachs every day, a lot of critical patients, ICU. There was a lot of neurovascular patients. That's my son crying. Let me see. He's been standing up a lot, so he's learning how to stand now. So it makes him frustrated when he can't stay up. But yeah, so there was a lot of ICU patients, critical patients. So it was a lot of I was very grateful for that experience. And they basically threw you to the wolves there, and that's what made you. If you didn't know it, you knew it because they threw you to the wolves there. And thankfully, I had amazing coworkers who you would call and they'd be there in a heartbeat. So that was my experience with that hospital. I loved it. But like I said, when I went to maternity leave, I made the decision not to come back. It was sad. Do I regret not going back? I can't say. Let me see. My favorite coworkers had left already, so it wasn't based off of the coworkers though. I think I would have gone back, but I would have probably gone part-time or PRN. I did ask for PRN in the beginning as my condition to come back, and they were gonna do it, but then we had new management. That's what happened. A new manager came in, our old manager left. He became a director at another hospital. And we had a new guy come in, and he came from rehab actually. His background was in rehab, so I heard he was strict. I heard he was a little strict, so that wasn't the main reason why I wasn't gonna come back, but it was like, this is a new manager. He's a little strict. I'm always running late in the mornings. And honestly, I was already in my head, I wasn't gonna come back. But I said I would come back as a PRN, maybe. And that kind of just, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out. I'm not gonna go back. I'm gonna figure it out. But I wanna be home with my baby. And that's what I did. So, the graces of God, I found the rehab place, right? So I told you guys I was getting paid 28 at the other place. At this rehab, it was a contract job. So with contract jobs, it's never secure, but they're always going to pay you more. I told myself from here on out, I'm only going to take contract jobs. I don't want to do no more W2Os. I don't want to do no more W2s. I only want to take contract jobs. I made that decision because, first of all, I'm free falling. Honestly, it's probably not going to work out with taxes at the end of the year, but I told myself I was only going to do contract jobs, and that's what I did. So I ended up there for, let me see, I started in December. After my maternity leave, I was out for 5 months, right? Baby boy turned 5 months, and I ended up getting this contract job. And my old coworker actually had gone there. Two of my old coworkers were there, which I loved. So I was like, I'm going there for sure. So I ended up going there, and I was there for about, at this point, I already have 2 years of experience under my belt. So I tell them that, and they start me off at $36 now. Remember, contract jobs are always going to pay you more because they're not taking out taxes. So you get paid more and you don't get taxes taken out. So 36, that was like, wow, I'm working 3 days. Sometimes I would pick up overtime. I was good. I was comfortable. I was good. I'm praying to God that this is going to last for a very long time. Unfortunately, that's not how it worked out. I was only there for about 4 months, 4 to 5 months, because after that, they lost a contract with the building. And it had a lot to do with, I think, they say no, but I think it had a lot to do with the conduct of the other RTs, because a lot of the RTs weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, of going in the rooms and actually taking their time with the patients and giving them their treatments. So the buildings were complaining a lot about that. Also, I heard that in another building they were talking about their dress code. They were wearing Crocs, and it just looked very unprofessional. The company started to look unprofessional. So they rather just cut the contract, and they wanted to go with RTs from the hospital. They were affiliated to the hospital now, so they were just like, let's cut the contract. And that's what happened. So after that, I was like, God is pushing me to look for other means. I've been wanting to work from home. It took me about 3 months to get my work from home job now that I'm doing. So I work from home now, and obviously nothing remotely close to the 36 that I was making at the rehab, but it's also a contract job, so I don't know how long it's gonna last. but I'm going to make the most out of it. And I'm doing everything in my power to stay with this company. I like this company. I'm helping patients, which is what I love to do. I love to help people. So that's that. And a lot of people have been with this company for 2 years. So hopefully, maybe I'll become, I don't know what's in store for me. Am doing TikTok shop now. I love TikTok shop. I'm not where I want to be with TikTok shop, but I learn every day, and I'm making like a couple of $100s on TikTok shop. Nothing crazy, but I'm able to pay for groceries. I'm able to get gas. I'm able to do small things with the money that I do get from TikTok shop. And now I'm getting into affiliate marketing. So I'm learning drop shipping. I'm learning other means of income because I believe that you should have multiple streams of income. And especially nowadays, I think you should have multiple streams of income. And I think this is just preparing me for my future goals that I have. I do want to get into real estate, not into being a realtor or anything like that, but just investing in properties. That's my ultimate dream, is to have multiple properties and make passive income other ways. And I feel like this just whole journey has really challenged me. Make the most out of what I have, right? Because I feel like jobs could be gone at the snap of your finger. But if you own your own business and you're making passive income other ways, you can't really compete with that. You know what I'm saying? Jobs will leave you. And so that's my take on that. I'm learning every day. I think knowledge is power. So I'm excited for this new journey. And I'm stressed. Look, honestly, I can say I'm stress free. I'm loving, I'm so grateful for life. And I'm grateful that I'm able to bring my visions into fruition and have God in my corner. You know what I'm saying? Life is hard as it is. So any way. So when you have the capability of just being healthy and being present, I think that's like, you can't be richer than that, right? For me, is a real wealth. To be present, to be healthy, and nothing else matters, right? Because everything else can literally be gone in the blink of an eye. And that's just where I'm at, honestly. And that's my transparency with the pay rate. A lot of people gatekeep pay, and I don't know why. Because we're all struggling in life somehow, sometimes, and being transparent and knowing what you deserve, I think everybody should be like, let's all fucking win. You know what I'm saying? Let's all fucking win. So that's my take on that. That is my pay transparency. And life is good, man. Just stay healthy. Life is good. Stay blessed. Knowledge is power. Learn other ways to make income. I always say that. Learn to make other ways of income, because these jobs can be here today and tomorrow they're gone. Obviously, in healthcare, if you're working at the hospital, they're always going to need jobs at the hospital. But for me, my health matters more than the stress of being exhausted, not being able to be present, and stuff like that. That's my take on that. If you guys have any other questions, drop them down below. I will answer it. I love all of you guys, and I'm so happy I can make another video. And I will be making more videos on just my life soon. Trying to see where my YouTube was very RT related, and a lot of you guys follow me for RT content, but that is my life now, motherhood. And if you want to see my journey, I call it the Wealth Journal. I have it on TikTok too. I have a personal TikTok where I just go through my journey of making money online and what helps me make money online. And I'm transparent about it. It's like my journal, it's my diary. And what I'm able to achieve with TikTok shop and what I'm able to achieve with affiliate marketing and stuff like that. So if you're interested, this is my TikTok. And I also have my TikTok shop account here. And yeah, you guys. But guys, I hope I didn't ramble too much. See you in the next one.